जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। चंजी राधा काला चंजी राधे। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Let's chant Mangalacharan prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please sing along. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaya udirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सार्गजातान् सहगना रघुनाथान् वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्तो नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 35. And we will be reading from text 12 to 17. Let me open it quickly. And the chapter named as Gopis Sing of Krishna. Beautiful chapter. First of all, I pray to all of you for your prayers so that I can serve you with my words. These chapters are like the jewels in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and these are most intimate pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. Personally, I have no qualification to speak on this, but by the mercy of all the Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, I'll be speaking. I'll just be repeating the words of Acharyas. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, has total 90 chapters, and out of that, there are 39 chapters which deal with Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And then there are 51 chapters which deal with Krishna's pastimes further in Mathura and Dwarika. And out of these 39 chapters where Krishna's pastimes are there in Vrindavan, there are in total 6 prominent songs or prayers by the gopis. So there is, starting from chapter 21, there is Venu Geet, where we'll further discuss. And then chapter 29, Pranay Geet, chapter 31, Gopi Geet, chapter 39, Virha Geet, for chapter 47, Bhramar Geet, and then chapter 35 is Yugal Geet. So all these songs are in the mood of separation from Krishna. Starting from chapter 21, where Krishna plays the flute in the forest. Krishna is in the forest and he is playing the flute, and gopis, they start developing these sweet feelings for Krishna. It's called Purva Raga. And then Krishna, since these gopis, they have very deep devotion for Krishna, so they are able to hear the sound of the flute even though they are not in forest. And then they develop these intense feeling for Krishna. And then after that, in the middle of night, Krishna plays the flute and he calls the gopis. And the gopis, they give up their homes and then they come to Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. They leave everything and then they come to Krishna in the middle of night. And they take complete shelter of their Gopinath. So when Krishna tells them to go back, that why have you come? You go back to your home, take care of your duties, of your material duties, of your family and everyone. So these gopis, they become very sad and then they sing Pranay Geet. So where they express their heart's loving emotions to Krishna in the Pranay Geet. And then Krishna accepts the gopis, and but he sees that they have developed a little pride in them because they are thinking that we are very special. So that time Krishna again disappears, and then gopis sing the famous Gopi Geet again to get their Gopinath back. Then very soon after Rasa Leela, where like gopis have developed so much affection for Krishna, and Krishna has also accepted them. Then after that, it is a daytime. So in the night, they are getting association of Krishna as in the Rasa dance, but they are not able to tolerate a single fraction of second of separation from Krishna. So when it is a daytime, gopis are again like they are feeling separation from Krishna. And Krishna is in the forest, he is taking care of their cows, his duties, all that. And these gopis, like they are at their home. So where it is the point where this chapter comes, chapter 35, gopis sing for Krishna. So there is pre-Ras Leela separation, and then there is a post-Ras Leela separation. So this chapter comes in post-Ras Leela separation. So total, there are 26 verses in this chapter, and out of that, 24 verses are chanted by the gopis. Srila Jiva Goswami, he says in commentary that these 24 verses are as important as the 24 hours of the day, because they deal with Krishna's pastime throughout the day. Gopis will be discussing Krishna's different pastimes throughout the day. So the pattern is like that. There is a pair of 2 verses here. So there are total 12 pairs of 2 verses. And every 2 verses, the subject matter changes. So every 2 verse, it is like that, cause and effect. So first verse, they will tell the cause, and second verse, they will tell the effect. So like Krishna plays the flute, then what happens? So first is cause, then effect. So that's why it is called Yugal Geet, because there are pairs of 2 verses. So this chapter is Yugal Geet. So now let me share few things like Srila Prabhupada shared in the Krishna book about this chapter. Very beautiful. So Srila Prabhupada shares that gopis of Vrindavan, they are so attached to Krishna that they are not satisfied only with the Ras dance at night. They want to associate with him and enjoy his company in the daytime also. And when Krishna went to the forest with cowherd boyfriends, so gopis did not physically take part in those pastimes. And because their heart went with Krishna, they are able to enjoy his company through these feelings of separation from Krishna. So to acquire such strong feeling of separation is a teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came to teach how to love Krishna in these feelings of separation. And he himself lived his life throughout to teach us how to cry for Krishna, how to feel separation from Krishna. So these gopis in this chapter are teaching us like how to remember Krishna, how to be fully absorbed in Krishna all the time through his pastimes and feel union in separation. It is like that. So what Srila Prabhupada says, he says that Krishna's transcendental name, form, qualities, pastime, everything is identical. So through the 9 processes of devotional service, we can also be attached to Krishna and purify ourselves. So when we purify ourselves through these processes, then finally we attain this highest level of perfection. And what is that highest level of perfection? To feel separation from Krishna, to feel this Vipralamba Bhav from Krishna. And Srila Srinivas Acharya, he wrote Shad Goswami Ashtakam, prayers for 6 Goswamis. And in that, he glorified the 6 Goswamis, saying that these Goswamis, they had government job. They were living very princely life, but they gave up everything. And they came to Vrindavan. They were living the simple mendicant life. But they were always enriched. They were always blissful. Why? Because they were feeling this separation from Krishna in the bhav of the gopis. And that's how even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lived in Jagannath Puri, he also lived his life in the same bhav, separation from Krishna. So that's what Srila Prabhupada says, that this is the highest perfection for Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. This is our goal. When we are doing a bhakti, this is our prayojan. So we should always aspire for it, and we should know it that this is our goal, and in that mood we should do the service. So that's what Srila Prabhupada says in his Krishna book. With this, we will read the first verse, translation and purport. Can someone please read?
O goddesses of Raja, when Krishna is enjoying himself with Balaram on the mountain slopes, playfully wearing a flower garland on the top of his head, he englandens all with the resonant vibrations of his flute. Thus he delights the entire world. At that time, the nearby clouds, afraid of offending a great personality, thunders very gently. In the accompaniment, the cloud shower flowers unto his dear friend Krishna and shades him from the sun like an umbrella.
Thank you. So in this verse, gopis are describing that Krishna and Balram, they are now over the Govardhan hill. So they are in the plateau areas of Govardhan hill. There are some spaces in between the hills. Currently, if we go to Govardhan, there are areas like Jatipura, Anyor, where it is still present. So Krishna and Balram, they are beautifully decorated with the flower garlands, and the garland is over their head. They are wearing beautiful garland, beautiful earrings, and they are looking beautiful. And Krishna always like variety. So Krishna will be decorated with different kind of flowers every day. The decoration will not be same every day. And here also we see Kalachandji like decorated in different kind of flowers every day. So in that way, Krishna and Balram, they are decorated, and gopis are calling each other Raj Devya. So this word is very significant. Srila Jiva Goswami says that, O women of Vraja, you are endowed with special charm among all the residents of Vraja, who are endowed with the fortune desired by the most exalted devatas. So why they are calling each other Vraj Devya? Because among all the Brajvasis, they are getting the personal association of Krishna, most intimate association of Krishna. No other Brajvasi is getting that. So they are praising each other's fortune and calling each other Vrajadevi. And then Krishna and Balram, like they are looking very pleasing. And what they are doing, they are playing flute. They are playing flute, and the flute sound is spreading all over. And gopis are comparing the sound of the flute is like loving embrace through Krishna. So wherever the sound of flute is going, they are imagining like Krishna is giving the loving embrace to everyone. So by this loving embrace, everyone is becoming blissful, everyone is becoming joyful. At this time, cowherd friends are not there with Krishna. They might be herding cows somewhere. So with that, Krishna is playing flute, and then clouds are there. And clouds are compared to the friend of Krishna. And these clouds, they are rumbling very softly. And it is said why the clouds are rumbling very softly? Because they want to complement the sound of the flute. Krishna is playing flute, and then clouds are rumbling like giving the sound of the mridanga. So it's a complete kirtan sound. So in the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna is accepted as a friend of cloud. Why Krishna is accepted as friend of cloud? There are two things in common between cloud and Krishna. The first thing is Krishna satisfies people when they are disturbed. When people are burning due to the excessive heat, the cloud satisfied them with the rain. Similarly, when people in materialistic life become disturbed by the blazing fire of material pangs, Krishna consciousness gives them relief like a cloud. So this, it is called Davagni. We all can relate with us. Like whenever like we are very disturbed by this materialistic life, it's not always happy. We always feel pain. Whenever we chant Krishna's name, whenever we hear Krishna Katha, it gives us so much peace. When we hear the words from our Guru Maharaj and Guru Parampara, it gives us so much peace. So in the same way, the clouds, whenever it is excessive heat, the clouds, the rain gives the some relief from the heat. So in that way, Krishna and clouds are friend. And then there is one more reason why they are friend is their complexion. Krishna's complexion is described as the freshly rained cloud. He is called Ghanshyam. So why he is called Ghanshyam? Because whenever the fresh rain clouds come, the complexion will be dark grayish blue. So it is Krishna's complexion. And in Vraja, there is a festival which comes in like coming month, Shravan Mas. We celebrate in few temples. It is called Ghata festival. In Ghata festival, what happens? The temples are decorated in cloud theme. And that cloud theme will be in particular color. Like there will be red Ghata, there will be like black Ghata we have today. And then will be green Ghata. Ghata is cloud. It's a different name of cloud. I mean, a fresh cloud. So in that way, the clouds are trying to please Krishna by different themes. So here it is said that clouds, they are rumbling softly because they did not want to disturb the sound of flute, and they want to compliment their friend Krishna. So can we read next verse, please? Thank you.
O pious mother Yashoda, your son, who is expert in all the arts of herding cows, has invented many new styles of flute playing. When he takes his flute to his bimba red lips and sends forth the tones of harmonic scale in variegated melodies, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and other chief demigods become confused upon hearing the sound. Although they are the most learned authorities, they cannot ascertain the essence of that music, and thus they bow down their heads and hearts.
Purport.
The words Tava Sutta Sati, your son, O chaste lady, clearly indicates that at this point Mother Yashoda is among the young gopis as they earnestly describe Lord Krishna's glories. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, among the demigods led by Shakra, Lord Indra, were Upendra, Agni, Yama, and Yamaraj. Among those led by Sharva, Lord Shiva, were Katyayani, Skanda, and Ganesh. And among those led by Parameshti, Lord Brahma, were the four Kumaras and Narada. Thus, the best collective intelligence in the universe could not definitively analyze the enchanting musical arrangement of the Supreme Lord.
So in this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says in his commentary that some of the gopis, they're thinking how to get continuous sight of Krishna. And it is now afternoon time, like they have passed a little bit. And they go to Mother Yashoda's house and they mixed with other elderly people, children and everyone. And then they talk about Krishna's qualities and activities. They cannot talk about Krishna openly and they are feeling intense separation. But it happens with us. If we are separated from our loving person, we want to talk about that person and it gives us so much of pleasure. So same way, these gopis, they are going to Mother Yashoda's house and they are talking there. They are talking about Krishna. And how they are talking is they are trying to give console to Mother Yashoda since she is feeling separation from her son. He is not there. So they are trying to console her also. And at the same time, they want to be absorbed in Krishna's pastimes also. So, but one thing is that they don't want to mix the rasas. These gopis, they are in Vatsalya rasas, and the Mother Yashoda, Mother Yashoda is in Vatsalya rasa, and gopis are in Madhurya rasa. So they don't want to mix the rasas. They are very careful about that. So how they talk, let's read. So they are saying that, O Sati Yashoda, your son Shyam Sundar, he is expert in cowherd activities like milking cows, herding cows, and taking care of cows. So what kind of cowherd activities a cowherd man can do? He can expertly milk the cows, he can just take the cows, take care of the cows, and he can play the flute also. Nowadays also, if we see in Braja, a lot of cowherd boys, like they play flute. You can find them. So he is expert in playing flute also. So now what they are saying that he is milking the cows, taking care of the cows. Along with that, he hold the flutes on his red lips, which are like bimba fruit. And then he plays different swara jatis. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says in commentary that he is playing different swara jatis. So there are total 18 chief swara jatis. Swara jati is nothing but the notes we can play in a flute. And there are thousands of like that. But Krishna is self-taught. They are saying Nija Siksha. Nija Siksha means he has self-taught all these flute playing to himself. He is the Supreme Lord. What he cannot do. He can learn, or he knows everything. Nothing is separate from Krishna. But so these gopis, they are saying that he has learned everything by himself. He did not go to any school, nowhere. And then they are saying that he has invented many ways of playing flute by himself. He has produced many ways, very many swarjatis, which are plentiful in music. So the word mentioned here is swashana. What swashana means is there are different kind of pitches, low, medium and high. And then Swashana also means that 3 junctions of the day, like morning, afternoon and evening. So when Krishna plays flute, he plays as per the time, place and circumstances. The flute sound notations will not always be same. It will always be different. Like in morning, there will be different raga. Evening, there will be different raga. As per the season, there will be different raga. Like rainy season, there will be different raga. If it is heat, there is a different raga. So there are different kind of music every time as per time, place, circumstances. And mostly in evening, I heard in lectures, he plays Gauri Raga. I don't know what about that, but it's called Gauri Raga. So here, how Krishna is playing flute expertly, and then he is bewildering everyone by his flute playing. So not only human beings, not only animals, but he is bewildering the residents of heavenly planet. And then there are great demigods like Shiva, Brahma, Indra. He is bewildering everyone by the sound of the flute. And so these great personalities, they are very learned. It is mentioned in the verse also. They are very learned and they know very well about the music. They have very good knowledge about the music. And so these great personalities are also like, they are not able to understand the sound of the flute Krishna is playing. And out of the bewilderment, they are getting submissive to Krishna and they are paying obeisances to Krishna. And every note Krishna is playing, every note is different from other note. They are like completely bewildering. And it is very sweet as well because it touches their heart. It touches everyone's heart. So it is very sweet. So everyone becomes faint-hearted. So Srila Jiva Goswami, he says in his commentary that how these demigods are getting bewildered and what they are saying. They are saying, what is this song? What is this song from the flute? So astonishingly sweet. What is the most astonishing sound which has never previously been heard? What is this magical sound which completely bewilders? By this bewilderment, become completely absorbed in that sound, they forget everything. The word is mentioned, kashmalam. Kashmalam means completely bewildering, completely like forgetting everything. And then gopis, in the same way, they also forget their duties, everything. So, Krishna's flute sound, it is not only music, but it communicates also. We have seen in the past chapters, Krishna called the gopis through the flute sound, and every gopi can hear her own name in the Krishna's flute. Krishna calls the cows through playing the flute. So when Krishna plays the flute, it communicates with everyone. And we hear in Brahma Samhita also that when Krishna plays a sound and the flute sound goes in Lord Brahma's ears, what comes out from his mouth? Kam Gayatri. So Krishna's flute sound is like origin of everything. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Srila Shukdev Goswami, he says that who has not heard the message about the prowess and marvelous acts of personality of Godhead, has not sung and chanted loudly, his ears are like, ear holes are like the holes of the snake. So first of all, like we think, oh, snake has ear holes. Have we ever seen snake has ear holes? No, right? So which holes here Srila Prabhupada is talking is, he is explaining in purport that these are the holes where snake lives. So when there are holes, snake goes. It is the home of the snake. In the same way, if we are not hearing Krishna's beautiful pastimes, Krishna's beautiful qualities, our ears will become like a holes where all the snake-like qualities will go in. So it is very important to hear Krishna's beautiful pastimes. So Krishna's flute sound, if we take it metaphorically, it is non-different from the transcendental sound vibration we have available through the mercy of the Acharyas. And what are that? Krishna's holy name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's paraphernalia, everything. So this is all Golokera Premadhan. So we are also able to hear Krishna's flute through all these transcendental sound vibrations available to us, and we can purify us and not letting the snake of the bad qualities getting in. So with this, we'll read the next, let me chant the verse. It is main verse. Please repeat after me. Nija padabja dale dhwaja vajra. Padabja
दले ध्वज वज्र
निरंजकुशा विचित्र ललामय.
निरंजकुशा विचित्र लामय
व्रजा भुवा समयन्खुरातोदम.
रजा भव समयं कुरातोदम
वर्ष्माधुर्या गतिरिदिता वेणु.
वस्माधुर्या गतरिदितवेनु
व्रजति तेना वयं सा विलासा.
व्रजति तेना वयं सविलासा
वीक्षणार्पिता मनोभाववेगा.
वीक्षणार्पिता
कुजा गतिं गमिता न विदामः. कश्मलेना कवरं वसनं वा. Anyone would like to chant? Yes. Yes, please. Mike.
Nya pajaja dali javad vajra.
Nija padabja dale dhwaja vajra.
Na rajantina kansuza victoria la ma.
Niranjakusha vichitra lalamay.
Vaja vaza saye maya kakathra satodam.
Vraja bhuva samyan kuratodam.
Vasama jaya jitar denevina.
Varshmadhurya gatiridita venu.
Vajita dina.
Nijapadabjatale dvajavajra.
Nija padabja dalir dhwaja vajra.
Nirjankusha vichitralalamaihi.
Niranjankusha vichitra lalamay.
Vrajabhuvasha mayam kuratodam.
Vraja bhuva samyan kuratodam.
Vashmaduryo gatirudita venuho.
Varshmadhurya gatiridita venu.
Vrajati tena vayam savilasa.
Vrajati tena vayam sa vilasa.
Viksha narpita manabhava vega.
Vikshana pita manubhava vega.
Kujogatim gamitana vidama.
Kujagatim gamitana vidamaha.
Kashma lenaka varama vasanam va.
Kashmalena kavaram vasanam va. Anyone else? Nija padabja dale dhaja vajra.
Nirankusha vichitralalamai.
Niranjakusha vichitra dalamai.
Vrajabhuvasha mayan kuratodam.
Vraja bhuva samyan kuratodam.
Vashmadhurya gatir idita venu.
Varshmadhurya gatiridita venu.
Vrajaditena vayam sa vilasa.
Vrajati tena vayam sa vilasa.
Vikshna pithamanubhava vega.
Vikshana pita manubhava vega.
Kujagatam gamitana vidama.
Kujagatim gamitana vidamaha.
Kashmalena kavaram vasanam va.
Kashmalena kavaram vasanam va. As Krishna strolls through the Vraja with his lotus petal-like feet, marking the ground with distinctive emblem of flag, thunderbolt, lotus and elephant goat, he relieves the distress the ground feels from the cow's hooves. As he plays his renowned flute, his body moves with grace of an elephant. Thus we gopis who become agitated by Cupid when Krishna playfully glances at us, stand as still as trees, unaware that our hair and garments are slackening. Purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mother Yashoda is no longer in the company of gopis, who are confidentially describing their conjugal attraction to Sri Krishna. It is clear from the comments of Srila Jiva Goswami and other acharyas that statements in this chapter were made at various times and places. This is natural since gopis were always absorbed in the thoughts of Sri Krishna day and night. Hare Krishna. So in this, now there is another set of gopis, another group of gopis, and these gopis holding secret rasa for Krishna, and which is produced through the internal pastimes happened with Krishna. So these gopis, they pass the third yam of the day. It is like around 4 o'clock. They waited till that time talking about Krishna. They are talking and talking. But now they have become restless that Krishna did not arrive. So what they do, they are very anxious. They, on the pretext of picking up flowers, they go out and then looking for Krishna. It is the exact time when Krishna comes back with the cows. So they praise, seeing Krishna. They finally get the glimpse of Krishna. And then they are reciting this verse. And when they see Krishna, they are overcome by the emotions. And what they say, oh dear friend, enough of speaking of others becoming bewildered. Hear about our own condition now. So in previous verses, we might have heard that they are talking about river getting still, trees getting still, and then the situation of the clouds and everything. So now they are saying enough of saying about others. Now we will talk about our own condition after seeing Krishna. So these gopis, first they talk about the lotus feet of Krishna and they glorify the feet and they call it Nija Padabja Dalai. Nija means his own. So they are saying Krishna's feet are very unique. It is his own. You cannot compare Krishna's lotus feet with anyone else because it has the special symbols in his feet like thunderbolt, flag, lotus, elephant goat, all these. And then Acharya says that Krishna's feet are broad in the front and narrow in the back and they are very soft and pinkish. So it is compared to the lotus petals. So with such lotus feet, Krishna is walking in the land of Vraja, and wherever the feet are falling, these special symbols are visible like a jewel on the land of Vraja. And the symbols like Shankha and Chakra are not mentioned by the gopis because the symbols of Shankha and Chakra are very prominent in the feet of Lord Vishnu. And they want these descriptions to be unique to Krishna, not mixed with Lord Vishnu. And then what they are saying, the cows are walking in the front and Krishna is walking in the back. So how they are comparing their own condition with cows is when cows are walking, their feet or the hoofs of the cow is falling on the land. And wherever the feet are falling, the hoofs are falling, it is causing pain to the ground. And when Krishna is walking over that, he is giving relief to those marks. So there are little bit differences when we read the purport here, not purport but translation, and when we read Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada. So I would like to mention that here it is mentioned that he relieves the distress the ground feels from the cow's hoofs. But in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada says that he relieved the pain the earth feels when the cows traverse it. So the word earth is different. And why Srila Prabhupada gave stress on the word earth? Because Krishna has personal relationship with earth. Mother Earth, it is called Bhudevi also. There are many temples in India. And Mother Earth, she is wife of Krishna. And Krishna is always takes special care of Mother Earth. Whenever Earth is in distress, he always comes and save Earth from the distress. So in that way, here also Krishna is giving relief to the earth. But how gopis are telling their feelings that see, Krishna is giving relief to the earth by the pain caused by the cow's hooves, but he is not relieving our pain, which is intense pain, by seeing him. So, Srila Sanatan Goswami, he says in commentary that he is walking in the land of Govardhan and Vrindavan, and wherever Krishna's lotus feet fall, it is the nature of the lotus feet that it removes all the pains, because of the footprints cover the hoof marks and remove all the pain. So this is the nature of Krishna's lotus feet, wherever it falls. Srila Shukdev Goswami, he says in Canto 2, Srimad Bhagavatam, that he is praying to Lord Shri Krishna, offering his beautiful prayers in chapter 4, and he says that highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved from all attachment to present and future existence, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. So this is the nature. Whenever we remember Krishna's lotus feet, we serve lotus feet of Krishna, it relieves us from all the pain of material miseries. And then Srila Jiva Goswami, he says in his commentary that Krishna is walking with the elephant gait. How elephant walks? Elephant walk is very graceful. Elephant never walks very fast. So Krishna is walking like an elephant. There are two reasons for that walk. First reason is Krishna is playing flute along with walking. And then he is trying to charm the gopis with that walk. So Krishna is playing his flute and walking slowly like elephant, which is charming the gopis. And then next point, which is different in Srila Prabhupada Krishna book, and here in the purport is, in the translation, it is mentioned, thus we gopis, we become agitated by Cupid when Krishna playfully glances at us. But in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada says that just by looking at him, we become lusty to enjoy his company. So how is it possible that who is looking at whom? Krishna is looking at gopis, or gopis are looking at Krishna? How can we understand it? Is first reason Acharya says is we can understand that gopis are completely bewildered. They are not able to analyze who is looking at whom. And second thing is, the love is two-way street. This is a pure love. And how it happens? When a devotee, he is trying to satisfy Krishna's senses by different services, his senses are automatically pleased. Krishna is Rishikesha. So when we try to satisfy Krishna's senses by various services, we chant Krishna's name, we serve in the temple, or we are hearing Krishna Katha. So it is pleasing to Krishna also. So in that way we can please Krishna. And the word used here is manobhav. Manobhav is translated as lust. So His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, he says in lecture that this lust never be compared to material lust. Gopis' lust is always, their bhav is always to satisfy Krishna's senses. It is never to satisfy their own senses. But if we understand the meaning of lust, it is to satisfy our own senses, material enjoyment. So gopis, they are always in the bhav, in the mood that we have to satisfy Krishna's senses. So it is not material lust. And then Srila Jiva Goswami, he says in his commentary that gopis' mind become agitated by his playful glances at them. They express their confused state. They become stunned, motionless like trees when he moves like that. And then this shows that this is the power of Krishna, that he can bewilder anyone by his beauty, by his grace, by sound of the flute. And then the gopi situation is like that, they forget about their material condition, they forget about their clothes, their hairs, everything become undone. So if we think in our material condition, how can we understand and relate it that if we really want to please Krishna, we should be materially detached. We should be, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says also that in the mind of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service never take place. So by Gopi's devotion, by Gopi's bewilderment, we can understand that how important it is to be materially detached. So with this, I would like to hear from all of you. These are beautiful pastimes. I would like to hear from all of you, what is your takeaway? What do you get from these pastimes of Gopis? With this, I would end. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Yeah. Yes.
We should satisfy the Krishna's desires, not our senses. Should work towards it.
Yeah, thank you.
I was appreciating your point that we need to give up all material desires. And at the same time, I was appreciating Krishna consciousness. Because you were mentioning that, Bhumi is very dear to Krishna as a relationship. And so you have some people that are very sentimental in the sense of environmental care and these and things. And as devotees, we can also have environmental care. We can also care for the earth. But we do it because she's so dear to Krishna. And then it becomes a transcendental thing. It doesn't become some thing about me or about some sentimental material activity. And I was thinking that Krishna consciousness, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we get so broad-minded like that, and then be able to perform devotional service. Thank you so much for class. It was
Thank
wonderful.
you, Prabhuji. Wonderful point. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mata. I have a couple of questions. You mentioned about the ear holes becoming like snake holes, and you said this was quoted by Shukadev Goswami. I thought, this was quoted by Shaunaka in the 3rd canto, starting with those verses, Tadatmasara Hridayam Batedam.
Yes.
But you said it's quoted by Shukadev Goswami.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where that is?
Yeah, Prabhuji. It is Shaunakadi Rishis. It is Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the same context. Yes. Yeah, Shaunakadi Rishis. Yes, you're correct.
Oh, it's by Shaunakadi.
Yes.
Okay,
My mistake,
okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, my second question I had is, you mentioned that that every verse here is a yugala, right? And they describe different pastimes of the Lord. And you mentioned that there are 12 couplets and 24 hours. How do we understand, from which commentary is this from, and how do we understand this?
Yeah, 24 hours is like, these verses are important as 24 hours.
Yes.
It's not related to 12 pair.
Of
But
course.
12 pair is like, there are pair of two verses, and there are 12 pairs like that. So it is cause and effect like that. I'll share you further reference on that.
Okay. Which if you can, which?
I heard in few lectures.
I see. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to ask here, you mentioned that, if you can, Mata, if you can just go up a couple of verses, 1 or 2 verses above. Oh, sorry, I can't remember my question. I have to see the verse. Bad memory. Yeah, this one. Just if you can come down. Yeah, this that offending a great personality thunders very gently. The clouds. So is that gently like afraid of offending? Is it because that Krishna is playing the flute, and if we rumble, then we might disturb?
Yes.
Is that what is the
Yes. So
mode here?
yeah, so let me read the commentary by the Acharyas on it. That's what they say, that clouds are considered a friend of Krishna. So Sanatan Goswami, he says in his commentary that the cloud desires to rumble loudly in joy, but also worries about surpassing Krishna since the cloud is above him. Or with his sound, cloud will drawn out of the sound of the flute and create offense. So cloud thinks of giving comfort to him and not doing any offense to Krishna's flute. That's why they are rumbling softly.
Okay.
And I forgot this point also, that cloud are pouring flowers instead of rain on Krishna, and they are making umbrella like of flowers over Krishna to give him relief from the heat. So in that way they are serving Krishna. In Vraja, everyone is personality. A cloud, flowers, everything is personality, and they want to serve Krishna in the best way they can. So, and right now also these pastimes are happening. We can see also through the festivals happening in each temple. So as I said, like there is a Ghata festival in temples. There are certain temples where we celebrate this festival, where clouds are walking with Krishna. So wherever Krishna is walking, clouds are walking over his head to give him relief from the heat. So this is the theme of this Ghata festival. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And the formation of the clouds, has that anything to do with like different formations, the cloud formations? Has that also anything to do with any of the
formation, I don't know, but the main purpose is to give relief from the heat. So they are walking, wherever Krishna is walking, they are following Krishna over the head of Krishna, so that they can give relief to Krishna. And as I said, the different color themes are there, so that is also to give pleasure to Krishna. In Hindi we call Rijhana, Thakur ji ko Rijhana, we call it in Hindi. So they walk, and then these themes, color themes are also there to give pleasure to Krishna, like sometimes pink cloud, sometimes it is grayish, black cloud, sometimes green. So it is all about giving pleasure to Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
To this point about the thundering clouds, it makes me laugh because when Giriraj Maharaj is up here, he'll invite everybody to come chant japa, right? And when you walk in, there's kind of some rules that are, and one of the rules is, do not chant louder than Maharaj. And it's so true, right?
Yes.
Like we want to hear Maharaj chant. We want Maharaj not to be distracted by our offensive chanting.
Yes.
We want to hear the great personality.
Yes.
So yes, you may be loud and this, that, but here in this situation, calm down.
Yes,
so we
yes.
can hear
Yes.
the great personality.
A wonderful point, Prabhu. Like we can also take it as a lesson that whenever we have our seniors in front of us, we should not be loud enough, or we should not be too, like we should be submissive. Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, beautiful class. From this pastimes, I can infer that how gopis love Krishna and they think about him in every possible way, like they're Krishna-centric. Forget about us trying to serve Krishna, but like I cannot even remember Krishna 24/7, 365 days. Like every moment, they were just thinking about him. Like even the cow hooves, they started thinking about how Mother Earth gets pain and how Krishna is, giving relief. So they, every possible way, they are trying to think about Krishna. Like I would be grateful at least even I can get 1% of what gopis think like.
Yes, Mataji, you took the perfect lesson. This is what we have to learn from these chapters. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also that Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So he is saying, become my devotee, become completely absorbed in me. Krishna is saying that we have to think about every small details of Krishna's pastimes. But we do it opposite. I mean, if I am talking about myself, like they think about the details of the material things. In every material things, we think about a detail. But we don't do it other way. It is so simple. If we do it other way, we go in any pastime and they just think how Krishna is walking, how Krishna has lotus feet, how he is wearing the garland. It is so simple. So we have to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and then we can be absorbed. So at least I should practice like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, wonderful point, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you. So many beautiful visualizations in this chapter, and you were bringing them out so beautifully. Yugala Geet, wonderful meditation. The other point that I also was appreciating is that sometimes back, I think in the class, a devotee was asking, why do the devotees want to be at the lotus feet of Krishna? So I think and I was also thinking, and so one point was brought up that it's the humble position you stay. But in these verses, it's brought out that his lotus feet are relieving the miseries of the world. So that's like from a, just even practical standpoint, it's like, okay, this is where you get misery from all the material misery, so a relief from all the material misery. So this is like for devotees the best place to be, at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that was a very nice call out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, if we think how we get relief from material miseries by thinking about Krishna's lotus feet, miseries will come and go. It is sure. But if we think about lotus feet, then we get that whatever Krishna says, like matra sparshastu kaunteya sitosna sukha. So we get that power, we get that energy, that okay, we get, as Prabhuji said, we become broad-minded. So we understand it will come, it will go. It is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, and we get the power to tolerate by Krishna's lotus feet. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
I mean, this visualization is like, okay, the calf or the cow hooves are stomping, and then Krishna's soft lotus feet are just providing relief. It's just such a beautiful visualization. So thank you.
All glories to gopis. Vrindavan. Anyone else? Okay, then if no one has, then we will end. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.